Are you an NP or P?
Welcome, everyone. I'm just setting it all up. Y'all joined on in early, right on time. I see you, frame greetings. Thank you so much. You know who it be? I'm here with the friend. Yeah, the man not straight to the end. We have red money to spend, to spend. So if you know who's your name, get okay, welcome. I see you. We got the tunes going. We setting the vibes, okay? Soca music always set the vibes. Soca music always sets the vibes. I see you, frame greetings, reposting it live. I appreciate you. Welcome on in, Miss Nini Legacy. I see you. We setting the vibes. I see the reposts. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Y'all join on in early. Who does go to work on a Thursday or even a Friday when you have parties? I still put on my wet clothes, but I just stay to wine on the shorty. She tell me she up there. Tell my supervisor I sick, have diarrhea, I need to shoot. I need to go to the pharmacy, but I end up in fire the work. I will jump up and winding down, pumping just like a hooligan. When I turn around and see my boss in the place, it feels to me again. I don't want my boss to see so white again. Don't want him to fire me so white again. What's the be in the pharmacy so white again? Yeah, it feels to me again. I see you. Welcome on in. I'm trying to get my logo up. Yeah, we setting the vibes. We setting the vibes. Yeah, I'm trying to. Dr. Henry, I see you. Dr. Brooke, I see you. Welcome on in. Welcome on in, everybody. I'm trying to get the logo pulled up. 1 second. Hold on. And we waiting on Miss Mika as well, too. So if they tell me I have to go, no, oh no, I go take a wine down low, then I go in and wine up so, and take a jump until morning, fet till I falling, soaking wet, and I up in every fet, it could be hot sun or stormy, fet till I falling down, so look I'm falling down, I'm like the mommy, fet till I falling down, I'm falling down.
You can hear Dr. Johnson.
I'm just alone. I am a whiner. Whining on all them y'all. Just don't tell me I can't play mass. Do not tell me I can't play mass. Don't tell me I can't play mass. Do not tell me I don't worry. Don't worry. But I can't promise I know I know. Welcome everyone. We're just waiting on one more guest. Okay. Thank you so much for grabbing your daily heart meet. I see you. Good evening, everybody. I see you. Good evening, good evening. Everybody, thank you for grabbing your daily heart meet. I want to change this layout, y'all. I just come up here sometimes and just embarrass myself. Miss Mika, welcome on in. I see you. The short stuff, welcome on in. I see you.
Hello.
Welcome on in. I see you. Welcome. We're just getting everything situated. We're giving Miss Mika a minute to come up on camera. Please enjoy the
Sorry,
tunes.
mom duties got in the way, y'all. My apologies.
No worries. Friend, greetings. Are you able to switch the layout, or Miss Nini? Are you able to switch the layout? I see you, Anna. Welcome on in. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Ms. Nike. I see you. Welcome on in. Welcome on in, everybody. Y'all know the soca music always set the vibes. The soca music always puts us in a good mood. Okay, you gotta loosen up that waist.
Come on, Mika.
Okay, thumbs up. Thumbs up in the chat before we get started. Thumbs up in the chat. Is the audio good? How is the audio? Thumbs up in the chat if the audio is good. Oh, I'm excited. You see when you plan something and it's finally about to be executed, and just, I dropped on my knees before I came up on here and prayed. So I'm just praying that there's no technical issues. I'm praying that everybody's able to fully articulate themselves. And I pray that people are able to receive a message from this. I always say this when I come up on here. It's beyond just the gifting and the engagement. It's really to spread a message and share resources. That's what I want to use my platform for. And I'm so grateful that you three ladies do the same as well too. You guys use this platform, yes, to have fun, yes, to build community, but also to share a message. So that's why you three ladies are on here, and that's why I invited you three ladies to share this message. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna jump on in. Everybody, thumbs up in the chat if the audio is good. Also, a praying hands or a thumbs up for me is you acknowledging you guys. I don't want to interrupt my guests because you guys, we gotta. I have a whole agenda. It's professional over here with Dr. Johnson. Okay, we got an agenda that we're gonna go through. Okay, please. Sit back, get comfortable. This is for you guys. Also, before we get started, there is no judgment, okay? These are all professionals, including myself, but these three ladies are professional and they are here to help. They are not here to chastise nobody. They are here to share resources, and they're here to let you know that you are not alone. And there's also other people out here who are experiencing certain things. We won't get into them certain things, but you are not alone. So take this as a, hey, I could receive something from this. Take this as a, okay, I'm not in this by myself. Okay, let's get started. Welcome. Navigating the Winter Blues, a mental health panel. I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate all of you taking the time to step into our conference. Okay, I'm gonna let the ladies introduce themselves, each brief introduction of themselves and a brief professional journey. Obviously, we know this is social media, so whatever name of the company you don't feel like sharing, you don't got to share it, okay? We can start off with Dr. Henry, the order that we're in. Dr. Henry, then Dr. Brooke, and then Miss Mika, okay?
All right. Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. Good to be on this wonderful panel. And Dr. Johnson, thank you for this opportunity. It's truly an honor. Again, I am Dr. Michelle. I am a dating and relationship coach. I have a PhD in counseling psychology, a dual certification in health and life coaching from a program that's accredited by the ICF, International Coaching Federation. And I do identify as a coach as opposed to a therapist or a psychologist. I have a background in mental health. There was a time when I provided therapy and I had a passion for it. And I worked with a variety of clients. I worked with children, adolescents, adults, families, couples, groups. I enjoyed it working with clients across various settings, hospitals, community agencies, nursing homes. I provided support within the community. I provided a lot of home-based services. And, you know, even though the work always felt fulfilling, I always had a passion for coaching. You know, that's just where my heart was. And so I made a decision to make that shift. And, you know, I feel more aligned, you know, providing coaching services. You know, when I was providing therapy, that was a time when, you know, there was more focus on helping people to understand, you know, earlier experiences, how it has an impact on where they are now. You know, providing a diagnosis and treatment, you know, as it relates to whatever the presenting concerns were. And now, you know, there's a shift where, you know, it's different. You know, I'm still providing the support, but it's more focused on helping people understand where they are presently, so they can move forward in achieving, you know, whatever it is that's desired. And my passion is truly working, you know, supporting women who basically are, you know, have a desire to experience love, but have had some struggles along the way, you know, feeling tired and frustrated with dating the wrong type of men. And, you know, I help women to gain clarity and confidence, you know, so they can move forward and experience love. And my personal journey is a big part of why I show up for women.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And Dr. Brooke, your turn. Your brief, who is Dr. Brooke, and brief professional journey?
Hey, everybody. So, yes, I am Dr. Brooke. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I have a doctorate in psychology, and it focuses on behavioral health management and leadership. So I've been in the field of behavioral health, mental health for over 20 years. So, yeah, I started when I was 5, you know. But I've been in this field for quite a minute, and I've seen a lot of different individuals. I've treated a lot of different individuals from adolescent to adult, many different diagnoses. But if I were to speak about a specialization, it would be in the treatment of anxiety disorders and trauma. I work a lot with that population. I have a private practice here in Georgia, and I also work with the nonprofit community-based mental health center here. And I love what I do. I love touching people. I love creating space for people to come in and just learn how to be a better version of themselves. And I like to be a part of that journey. I love holding space. I think, well, this may be a later question, but a part of why I do this is because I want to create that space, and I want to be for others what I wanted for myself. I know it might sound corny, but that's the truth. You know, I want to be for others what I needed as a teenager or as an early adult, you know, in the 20s, trying to navigate being responsible and paying real bills and all the stress that comes with it. So, yeah, that's me.
I love that. Thank you for that introduction. And last but not least, Miss Mika. Brief background. Who is Miss Mika, and a brief professional background?
Hello, everyone. My name is Mika. You might see me around TikTok. I'm Mika, the LMFT Bessie. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, so I enjoy working with my children and my families. It is a major part of who I am. I have not been in therapy settings for as long as these two beautiful women before me, but I've been here a little bit less than 5 years, and I really do enjoy what I do. Like Dr. Candace said, I really do enjoy holding space for others and being what I wish I would have had as a child. I am a military brat, so I moved around a lot as a kid and we were never stable in that respect. So being able to be there for military families, especially, holds a lot in my heart. And I also work for a nonprofit and a mental health hospital where I live.
I love that. Thank you all for sharing that brief introduction. Y'all don't know no introduction for Dr. Johnson. Y'all know who I am. Y'all check in with me every Tuesday. So we just gonna save the time and we're just gonna jump right into the agenda, okay? So to let you guys know, we have a variety of questions and under different subtopics. We're gonna be discussing some general and foundational questions. Then we're gonna get into some psychology and self-awareness questions. Then some topics, understanding seasonal depression. Then we're going to get into treatment and coping strategies. Then we're going to be talking about some topics about understanding boundaries. Okay, that had me stuttering too. That's a big one. Understanding boundaries, okay? And then we're going to end it off with boundaries and self-respect, because at the end of the day, you got to have self-respect for yourself. No judgment. Let's get into it, okay? I want to jump right into it. My first question for you ladies, okay? And I'll start off with Dr. Brooke, okay? What do you believe are the core elements of a healthy relationship in today's world? And obviously, you know, this relationship, couldn't just be romantic. It could be platonic. There's a variety of different relationships, okay? So I'll repeat the question one more time. What do you believe are the core elements of a healthy relationship in today's world, ma'am?
Okay, I think a couple of the core elements for a healthy relationship would be, first of all, mutual respect. I think that is a must in any relationship, like you said, platonic or an intimate relationship. We must have mutual respect. Also, emotional safety. Can I be open? Can I be vulnerable with you? That safety really matters in a relationship, that emotional safety. And a third one that I would suggest would be open communication, being able to communicate, and not only just communicate, but how to resolve conflict. Let's be able to resolve conflict effectively, because we're bound to have conflict in relationship. We're individuals. So open communication, the ability to resolve conflict, and emotional intelligence. Let me add that one in too. Those would be cool for me.
I love that. What about you, Miss Mika? What would you say are core elements of a healthy relationship in today's world?
So I agree with Dr. Candace, and I also like to add in consistency. Consistency. I like to tell clients that healthy love is supposed to feel peaceful. It's not supposed to feel combative and performative.
Right.
So safety, honesty, consistency, those things I feel are very, very important in a relationship.
Right. I love that. Thank you for that. And we're going to jump right into this next question, because this next question is really tailored for Dr. Henry, okay? So, Dr. Henry, how have modern dynamics like technology, social media, and dating apps changed the way people connect?
How has it changed? Well, it's changed in a variety of ways. I would say one is it actually offers a lot of options, but the options can be really overwhelming. And, you know, given the overwhelm that a number of people feel, you know, exploring, you know, online connections and dating apps, you know, they may not always get the full picture. They may not always experience a genuine connection. And sometimes that can be a little difficult to determine. And that's where, you know, feeling confident enough to ask good questions in order to gain a better understanding of who the person is, what they want, and whether or not a genuine connection can occur becomes even more important. And unfortunately, because there's so much to see and experience through social media, there's also a lot of comparison and unrealistic expectations that are formed when people are exploring such connections. So determining, what's real versus, just what appears to be real on the surface, or superficial, I guess is the word that I'm looking for, and not getting caught up in that, where you kind of lose sight of what you want and how you want someone to show up for you in a relationship.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Now, Miss Mika, a while ago, I interviewed you on Office Hours with Dr. Johnson, and you mentioned that you do therapy for adolescents. It was some adolescents, right? So I think that you could provide some insight on this question too. How has modern dynamics like technology, especially in the younger generation, changed the way people connect?
So there's a lot of connections, but there's not a lot of communication. We're swiping left and swiping right, and we're seeing somebody who just looks so good in a photo, and we're sending these little spurts of conversation, but we're really not connecting with people anymore. Yes, can you date online? Absolutely. You can start to build that connection online, but it's important to be face to face with somebody and really feel the energy, have those conversations, and be honest, because body language does a lot. Body language says more than your mouth ever could. If you guys notice, all three of us are sitting here. As one of us is speaking, we're all nodding. Body language. And it's really important with adolescents because the bullying culture is so prevalent. I've had situations where this is not even like clients, but like my younger family members have been like, oh, I like this boy. And oh, he messaged me on Snapchat. Meanwhile, it's a group of mean girls, the Gretchens and Reginas, texting her to be mean and making fun of her behind her back. So it's important that while we can start to build the connection on websites, online, on the apps, we need to make those genuine connections face to face.
Right.
And
if I can add to that, I feel like it takes away from that organic connection. You know, if we're just doing it all online, it takes away from the organic connection. And like Dr. Henry said, you're connecting with this image of this person. You're connecting with who they post to be. You don't know who they are, you know, so it takes away that organic connection. Meet somebody at the grocery store. Go meet them over there filling up your tank and see how you feel about them. Have some conversation.
Right. I love that. Thank you, Dr. Brooke. I want to head back to you, Dr. Henry. I think this question would be most fitting for you as well. What's the most common misconception people have about what makes relationships last?
People assume that because you have that initial spark and you share some commonalities that, the relationship will last. But, chemistry, that initial spark is often temporary, even if it leads to a long-term relationship, because it's just that, an initial spark. It gives you initial information and feelings about, that person in the moment. But compatibility is what really determines if a relationship can be sustained, if there's a genuine connection. And then there's time and energy that goes into that process as well. So not getting caught up in the chemistry to the point where you're ignoring the general dynamics, what's being communicated, allowing yourself to explore the relationship further so you can really get to know the person and make the connection.
Dr. Brooke and Ms. Mika, any of you guys can chime in before we head on over to the next question. Anything else you want to add, or did she answer it thoroughly for you guys?
If I were to add anything, it would be thinking that love was enough to keep a relationship.
That's what I was going to say.
What did Tina say? What
love got to do with it?
Okay. I need stability. It's not enough. I can't take love down here to the power company. I need stability.
Yes.
You got me on my worst day.
A shared effort.
It's a shared effort. We past love. We need to have skills to keep this thing maintained.
Yes. Relationships take a skill set, and not everybody has that skill set in their toolbox. Absolutely. And there's no shame in that. That's what we're here for.
Hello, that's why you guys are here. Subject matter expert, Miss Mika. Subject matter expert, Dr. Brooke. Subject matter expert, Dr. Henry. Don't get me started, okay? Let's continue. This is for you, Dr. Brooke. We're going to start with you because we can take it if we want to take it there, but I'm trying to stay in character. I'm trying to stay professional, and I see y'all staying professional too. So let's continue. Dr. Brooke, how do you define emotional intimacy, and why is it harder to maintain than physical attraction? Take us there.
How do I define emotional intimacy? I would say emotional intimacy is essentially feeling seen,
Okay.
feeling heard, feeling emotionally safe. And it can be harder to maintain because a lot of people, it requires vulnerability, and a lot of people can't move past their own wounds or their traumas from the past or their own attachments from the past to be able to hold that type of space in a relationship.
Right. I love that. Dr. Henry, anything you want to add to that? Dating coach expert.
Can you repeat the entire
Sure.
question again?
Okay, how do you define emotional intimacy, and why is it even harder to maintain than physical attraction?
Yeah, I think because sometimes people aren't always aware of, what they need in the relationship. And when you don't know what you need and you're kind of struggling with communicating it while comparing it to maybe past experiences, that can create that feeling of being stuck and not knowing how to proceed. And then you just kind of spinning your wheels and questioning and staying in your head. And again, that's where you talk about skill set, being able to communicate and ask questions so that you can kind of move things forward and make a decision about whether or not it's a relationship or a connection that can continue beyond that point.
I love that. Thank you for that. I just wanted to make sure we included our dating coach subject matter expert on that topic of emotional intimacy. Okay, so Miss Mika, it's your turn. Okay, in your experience, what are the early signs of a relationship in trouble? Now, you can give us romantic relationship or even platonic friendship. Remember, we're discussing a variety of different relationships. Okay, I'll repeat the question for you one more time, Miss Mika. In your experience, what are the early warning signs of a relationship in trouble? Please let the people know, because sometimes the people them are blind.
The people them are blind.
The people them are blind. So please, just one more time. I'll repeat it for you one more time, because we got to say it for everybody in the back. In your professional clinical experience, Miss Mika, what are the early signs of a relationship in trouble?
I will give you two. So one is when somebody, be it a friend or a partner, you start to feel uncomfortable and unsafe expressing the things you need, the things you need to say. And another one is avoidance. When you're going out of your way to avoid speaking to somebody, going out of your way to avoid seeing them. Those are two key signs that relationship or that friendship is in trouble, and you need to buckle up, Buttercup, because we got some riding to do.
I love that. Thank you. We're going to transition over into our psychology and self-awareness questions, okay? Everybody just joining on in. I see you. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. And I saw somebody in the chat talking about some lean in. They like when at the last conference, we was leaning in when we had some important things to discuss. So that we got to lean in, okay? So I see you, blessed believer. Thank you so much for being here. I see you. Fashion for Nick, I see you. So let's head back down the line. Dr. Brooke, how important is individual self-growth for the success of a relationship? I'll repeat the question for you one more time, and all the folks in the back. How important is self-growth for the success? How important is individual self-growth for the success of a relationship?
I believe it's extremely important for the success of your relationship, because our unhealed parts become a pattern in our relationships if we don't address those things. You want to lean in again? Let me say it again. Our unhealed parts become a pattern. They show up in our relationships. So your own personal growth is extremely important. If I'm a person who, I'm giving you an example of that unhealed part, okay? If I'm a person who grew up in a dysfunctional family, and I learned that people pleasing was the way to keep the peace and keep me out of trouble, then I don't just stop that behavior because fawning is a trauma response. I don't stop that behavior because I'm no longer in that household where I grew up. That goes on with me. I learned how to do that to try to keep the peace. When I'm in this next relationship, I didn't heal that. So now I'm in this relationship and you look mad, so I just quiet down. I become a mouse. I don't want to rock the boat. I want to keep everything peaceful. I don't express myself honestly and openly. So that pattern it continues. It goes into our relationships. So it's extremely important.
I love it. Anybody else want to chime in before we head on to our next question with Dr. Henry? Miss Mika, that was good for you. Nothing else you want to add? Okay, perfect. Dr. Henry, Dr. Henry, want to add something? Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I just wanted to say too, yes, first and foremost, we want to, make sure that we are, managing our personal growth. And it's also important for the relationship, because relationships come with challenges and surprises and some unpredictability. If you are feeling that lack of stability within, it's hard to be supportive of the other person or to even work through those challenges as they arise. So you want to start with yourself first so that you can support a relationship or the person you're in a relationship with.
True, I love that. Thank you for adding that in. And we're going to stay on you, okay, ma'am? Because I think this is most fitting for you as well. Can two people be right but still incompatible? And how do they recognize that? Let me lean in and repeat the question for the people in the back, okay? Can two people be right but still incompatible? And how do you recognize that? Dating coach, relationship coach, subject matter expert, Dr. Henry.
Yes, people can certainly be right and also incompatible. It's like you hear two people who you might identify as being good people or accomplished people, and yet they just don't seem to connect because that compatibility, it goes a lot deeper than what's on the surface or even some of the commonalities that you share. So when you're thinking about core values, for example, you want to know that you align in that regard. So, when I was dating, one thing that was really important for me was knowing that whoever I was dating, getting to know, at some point wanted to transition to a longer term relationship, that would result in marriage. That was really important to me. And so, and also, my spiritual beliefs are really important to me. Those are core values. So being with someone who also shares, spiritual beliefs was important. Not that we have to believe in the most identical manner, but at least share enough in common where, we complement each other, we can relate in that regard.
Right. I love that. Dr. Brooke, you want to add anything to that? Ms. Meek, you want to add anything to that? Or we good to move on?
Dr. Henry hit it.
Dr. Henry hit it. I'm the subject matter expert one more time. And I'm not just saying that just to boast and brag. I'm telling the people them who you are and what you guys are, okay? Let's move it right along. Dr. Brooke, how do attachment styles influence the way people show up in relationships? Okay? Once again, I'll repeat. How do attachment styles influence the way people show up in relationships?
Well, our attachment styles can impact how people, the closeness, how they seek closeness, how they handle conflict, how they express themselves. So if you have someone, let's say, with a anxious attachment style, they may lead with a fear of abandonment. Somebody who has an avoidant attachment style, they'll lead with emotional distancing. So that's how it would impact our relationship. Knowing what your attachment style early on, or at least at this point, now that you hear us talking about it, find out what your attachment style is and see how that impacts your relationship. If you have a secure attachment, you're able to be vulnerable, you're able to trust, there's a healthier communication. But it's important to know our attachment style developed when with our caregivers, whoever that was growing up. That's where we learn whether to be anxious about, is this person going to be here? Are they not going to be here? Should I rely on them? Should I not? Am I going to be in trouble if I say something? Should I avoid this? This is where we learn it. But once you learn that's your style until you learn better. And it'll show up and impact those next relationships because you learn it in relationship. So of course it'll show up in a relationship later on.
Right. We good. Subject matter experts. Anything else you guys want to add? We good to move on, or she nailed it?
She nailed it. And then some people, to add on, have an anxious avoidant Like they want to be clingy, but they want to be distant. Like they don't know
Yes.
what's going on. They want to lean back but lean forward.
Yes.
So like Dr. Candace said, once you learn your attachment style, it's a game changer.
Absolutely.
And what about you, Dr. Henry? Look like you wanted to add something to that as well, too.
Yeah, no, that was excellent with what they shared. But I'll also add that it can just be really confusing too when you have different attachment styles. Because, for example, if you have anxious style, if you're leading with people pleasing and it's not yielding the result you want, it can really cause a lot of confusion and self-doubt and just constantly questioning, like, why am I not being able to please this person? Really, you understand the differences, how attachment styles interfere with making that connection, then it kind of helps to gain greater. Yeah, it just creates a lot of confusion in general when you don't know.
I love that. Thank you for adding that, Dr. Henry. Now we want to head back over down to Miss Mika, okay? Miss Mika, what advice would you give someone who keeps attracting the same kind of unhealthy partner? Hey.
Well, friends, lean in.
Okay.
You gotta heal the parts of you that continue to choose those same patterns that keep harming you. I'll say it again one more time.
Yeah, okay, let me lean in some more.
Heal the parts of you that continue to choose those patterns that bring harm to you. If you never choose healing, you're gonna continue to choose harm. Keep asking yourself questions like, why do I choose this? What feels familiar about this? Why does this make me feel like I'm okay, but then all of a sudden, boom, everything falls apart and we're back in the same pattern again?
Right. Dr. Brooke, anything you want to add, or Dr. Henry, anything you want to add?
She said it.
You nailed it. Okay, Dr. Henry, she nailed it.
Just examine and those unresolved wounds and examine them. She said it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. We're going to move right along. The last question that we have under the psychology and self-awareness subtopic, okay? And we're going to start off with Dr. Brooke. How can someone balance independence with interdependence in a partnership? Hit us with it, okay? I'll repeat one more time.
Okay.
Let me lean in too, because we all like to lean in. How can someone balance independence with interdependence in a partnership? Hello.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna tell you one time. Y'all hear me and hear me clear. Maintain your personal identity.
Okay.
Be who you are. Okay. You do not get a partner and then just become that partner's partner. Right. You're still Candace in that partnership. Right. So maintain your identity. Prioritize your relationship as a team effort, but maintain your identity. That's what's important. Some people just, they get into these relationships and you don't hear from them for 3-4 months. And it's kind of cool because we know the honeymoon phase. But ma'am, after you've been missing so long, we've been going to brunch and you've been gone because you over there. Now we don't know you and you don't know us. Maintain your identity, ma'am and sirs. Maintain your identity. Get you somebody who has something else going on. I don't want you under me all the time. And I don't want to be under you all the time. When we get together, it's lovely. But I need to be about my business and you need to be about yours. So that's how. Continue to be an individual, but work together to work on your relationship.
Dr. Henry, anything you want to add to that? Because they said on the chat you was preaching, you brought us to church, okay? Dr. Henry, anything you want to add to that?
I just want to say, gosh, that is spot on. Yeah, because otherwise, you get lost. You lose yourself in a relationship if you don't have anything else going on, and you certainly don't want to forget about the other relationships that you have. In most cases, those relationships were there before that new relationship, and there is a really good chance they will continue to be there after the relationship. So don't forget about the people who've been supporting you.
Right. I love that. Thank you so much for that. Everybody just joining on in, welcome to Navigating the Winter Blues and Mental Health panel. We're going to be discussing a variety of questions, okay? We've already discussed some general and foundational questions, We just wrapped up some psychology and self-awareness questions. Now we're going to start off on understanding seasonal depression, okay? And Dr. Brooke is going to start us off with understanding seasonal depression. Let's get into the first question, ma'am. What exactly is seasonal depression, and how is it different from other forms of depression? I'll lean in and repeat the question one more time, okay?
Okay.
What exactly is seasonal depression, and how is it different from other forms of depression? Take us away, Dr. Brooke.
Okay, so seasonal depression, or SAD, is seasonal affective disorder. That's the form of depression that occurs when the seasons change. It's most common in the fall, winter, although there is a summer pattern of this. It's less common. But this is when it's predictable. It's predictable when it'll occur. It's predictable when it should resolve or go into remission. And it's more than just our winter blues. You know, all of us can experience that. Seasonal depression impacts your functioning. I think in our DSM, it's major depressive disorder with seasonal pattern. Now, I think is how it's listed. But you have to have a history of at least 2 years of this. So this is not, okay, a one-off thing. I'm just moody, I feel down this year. There has to be a pattern, at least 2 years of this. And again, it has to be predictable of the start and the end for it to even be diagnosed. Again, the impacts of it, the fatigue, the low mood, your cravings may even increase as far as the food that you eat. They may change. Your sleep pattern may change because as it's darker, you create more melatonin. You know, you're sleeping, you're not getting that vitamin D. So now your serotonin is kind of going down a bit. You're sleeping more. You're feeling low. That's what seasonal affective disorder kind of looks like and feels like. You need me to speak more on that?
No, I think you took us to class real quick. I love that. Anything else, Miss Mika or Dr. Henry, that you would like to add? Or did she nailed it? She nailed it.
Dr. Candace nailed it. I suffer with SAD, so I completely am 100% on board with what she said. I know when it's going to hit me, and I know when the sunlight comes back out, your girl is great. But right now, I'm kind of in the, I'm giving very Eeyore.
Right. I love, and guess what? That's a good segue into this next question about I'm going to lean in for you, okay? What are the biological or environmental factors that cause seasonal affective disorder, Miss Mika?
Like Dr. Candace said, the reduced sunlight, your circadian rhythm gets affected, your vitamin D gets affected. So I'm at work until 5 o'clock most days, and the sun sets at 5:30. So when I'm at work, my mood starts to get affected around 4 o'clock because I know when I get off, I'm not about to get no sunlight, and I'm just going to be in my house like this, just sad. And so I have to make sure that when there is sunlight outside, I have to get outside in it. I take my lunch break outside. It doesn't matter the temperature. I'm outside taking my lunch break. I also have a sunlight lamp in my house to make sure I'm getting those effects from my lamp as if I would in the spring or summer. And because, like I said, I know when this is going to hit for me and when I'm going to peak and I'm going to come right back down and get to my, oh my gosh, I'm so happy, I'm so excited. It's easier for me because I've been diagnosed since I was 17 or 18 and I'm 40 now. So this has just been my life.
Dr. Brooke, anything else you wanted to add to that? Or Dr. Henry, we good?
No, but that I'm sorry, Dr. Henry, were you saying something?
Oh, God, I can go after you.
Okay. I was about to say, like Mika said, that lamp, I saw somebody said something in here. Miss Karen said, I like that sunlight lamp. But that's important, especially if you have a moderate to high, if you're dealing with this thing, that would be important as an intervention to use. And I think it's what, Mika, like 10,000 lux or something like that you need to have.
Yep.
So that would be very important. And then movement, getting up. If you can't make it outside, getting up and moving around, making sure you're incorporating some movement. And even if it's cloudy out, just get out. The sun is out there somewhere,
Get some fresh air.
Just go outside, and that can help. But that's all I wanted to add.
Dr. Henry?
Yeah, I was going to say, also related to that is, it is when you know, which I think Mika was speaking to this, like when you know that this is and deal with that's going to come up around this time. You can prepare. And, one thing I hear a lot of people saying, and I've said this too, oh, it's just too cold to go outside. And, I live in the Midwest, and so I am used to cold. I know it's going to be cold. I know how to layer. So when you prepare and you layer, you're able to, get out and do things, and then you're not using that as an excuse not to be able to get that outdoor movement that helps with the
I love that. Thank you for adding that, Dr. Henry. Now we're going to go back to Dr. Brooke, okay? How can someone tell the difference between winter blues and a more serious case of SAD? I'll repeat the question one more time for the folks on the back. How can someone tell the difference between winter blues and a more serious case of SAD?
Okay, so the winter blues are more mild and temporary versus SAD, versus SAD. That it significantly can impact your functioning. So that's the major difference. It's mild and temporary when it's the winter blues. If it's SAD, it's impacting your functioning.
I love that. Anybody else? We good? We can move on. Got to make sure we check the temperature. Okay, perfect. Good. Ms. Mika, your turn. Are there any certain groups of people who are more prone to experiencing seasonal depression from your professional experience?
Yes. So people who have a history of depression are often people who have SAD. Also, women are affected a lot by SAD. And then in my experience, people who live in places that have really long winters, really low sunlight, places like Alaska, they will be affected by SAD.
I love that. Thank you for that. Anything else you want to add to that, Dr. Brooke or Dr. Henry? Or we good?
We're good.
We good? Okay, we're going to bring it back to you, Dr. Brooke. Can SAD occur in seasons other than winter? For example, can it occur in the summer? Can you be popped down? Can you be falling out? Can you be depressed in the summer? I'll repeat the question one more time. Can SAD occur in seasons other than the winter? For example, the summer. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, it can. It's less common, but there is a summer pattern of SAD. So yes, to answer that question.
Okay. Once again, you guys, we meet the halfway mark of this conference. Can I just get a couple round of applause in the chat? Are we enjoying the conference? Are we enjoying the gems? Once again, this is not a conversation to chastise nobody or belittle nobody or make nobody feel no kind of way. This is to share resources. This is to share information. Dr. Dom, I see you. Welcome on in. You need legacy. I see you. You're doing a great job. I appreciate you being here. I see you, Miss Cassandra. I appreciate you for being here. Coach Jen, I see you. Welcome on in. Patience Murray, I see you liking the live and sending the roses. Okay, I just wanted to quickly check in with my people. I see all you guys on here. Ms. Nike, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's continue. We're going to go on down to our treatment and coping strategy questions, okay? Ms. Patrice, I see you. Ms. Mika, let's start with you and then we're going to head back down. What are the most effective treatments available for seasonal depression? We all got to lean in. If y'all don't lean in with me on this, we ended the conversation right now. Everybody lean in. We leaning in. Let me get out of character real quick. I'll repeat the question one more time. We leaning in because this is important. Now we get into the nitty gritty of things, okay? We're taking it real serious, okay? We showing y'all tough love, okay? I'm gonna repeat the question one more time. What are the most effective treatments available for seasonal depression?
So I'm gonna give you a free one. I'm gonna give you the free game. A consistent routine.
Okay.
Eat the right food. Be consistent. Move. Go outside. Get fresh air. Hang out with your friends. Don't just sit at home after work. Sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do. A consistent routine is going to be one of the most effective things along with light therapy.
I love that. Anything else you want to add, Dr. Henry or Dr. Brooks? She nailed it. Anything else to add?
No, I love that. In therapy, talk to somebody. Talk about what's going on. Understand it more because maybe you don't even know what this is, but you just realize, dang, every year around this time, but you ain't even been diagnosed. Go talk to somebody. Let's see what's going on. Knowledge is power. The use of knowledge is power. So go and know what's going on with you and then apply the techniques that you learn in therapy. Like Mika said, get out and move. Use your light. Keep your consistency. Find something, even if it's just one thing that you continue to do, that you promise yourself that you're going to do every day, and then build from there. If that one thing is to get up and brush your teeth, then every day, dang it, get up and brush your teeth.
Amen.
We'll add something else later, but for now, just get up and brush your teeth 7 days a week.
Yes.
But at one day at a time, okay? Just find that one little thing, be consistent, and add more to it.
And I want to say two things right here real quick before we continue. First and foremost, in the chat, Dr. Dom just said, if the work is depressing you, consider whether that's the problem. I'll repeat that one more time. We're going to lean in. If the work is depressing you, consider whether that's the problem. Okay, that's the first thing I want to address. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Dom. Secondly, you just said seek therapy and speak to somebody. Dr. Candace Brooke, can you just tell black men it's okay to speak to somebody? Can you tell black men it's okay to not be okay? And can you also tell black men that, hey, if you're feeling depressed, it's okay to vocalize, I'm not feeling myself, I'm not feeling my best. We're so caught up on society's pressure of being the head honcho, of being the head of the household, of being the boss, of being the strong one. I told somebody earlier on another live, check on your strong friend. So you just said speak to somebody. Specifically right now, can you speak to us black men and tell us it's okay to seek help? It's okay to talk to somebody?
Absolutely. Listen, brother, we are here to hear you. We are here holding space for you. It is absolutely okay for you to not feel okay. You don't have to put up a front. You don't have to be macho. You don't have to flex because you the man and I can't feel none of these feelings. Absolutely you can, because first you're human. Okay? Emotions is a human thing. It's not a sex thing. Emotions aren't just designed for females. You're a male, you're a human. You have emotions. And sometimes they don't feel good. It's okay to talk about that, because what happens, you don't get to talk about it. You didn't learn it was okay. And then that turns into anger. That stress builds up in your body. And now you're physically ill. And you're acting out in ways that maybe could get you in trouble, keep you out of relationships. Talk to somebody. It is okay to express yourself. Nobody's going to look at you like I don't know what words I can't use, but less than a man. Okay? Nobody's going to look at you like that. We need you to talk. We need you here with us. We want you to be strong, but you only can be strong when you're able to be vulnerable. That's what we want you to know. It's all right, baby. Talk to us. I'm sorry, I got emotional because these men don't be wanting to talk.
I'm with you. I feel the exact same way. And Neck just had a great comment in the comments. She was saying,
yes, go ahead and read it.
How her daughter just had to go to the mental health clinic. In college, she was going through it too. That's so true.
Yes.
We often don't think about these babies, because they're babies to me. They're away from home for the first time, going through it. They feel like they don't have anybody to talk to. This is for you too. Go talk to somebody. There are people that want to see you win, that want to hold space for you, that want to celebrate your successes and hug you through your failures. That's life. So yes, therapy is for everybody. I'll say it again. Therapy is for everybody. Everybody needs to talk to somebody sometime. It might not be a traditional therapist like one of us. Maybe it's your preacher. Maybe it's your grandmother. Somebody is willing to listen, but sometimes you need to go talk to the lady, as the kids would say these days. Go talk to the lady. That's what we're here for. I am here to not judge you. I'm here to giggle with you. You can say whatever you want within my space. You can curse, cry, do whatever you got to do. But we're going to get you through it, and we're going to heal it together, because that's what we're here for.
Right, I appreciate that. And I just want to address two things in the chat. Ms. Rem Patricia said she's so glad, she's so glad I checked myself in 3 years ago. Sometimes we got to do that and put ourselves first. So kudos to you, Rem Patrice. I see you. Also, our herbalist subject matter expert, Ms. Cassandra in the chat said, inflammation, one second, the chat is moving. Inflammation in the digestive system can impact your mood, decrease sugar and highly processed foods, okay? And that's coming from the holistic subject matter expert in the chat, okay? You got to watch what you eat. It can definitely affect your mood. Dr. Dom said, I love therapy. 8 years in, she is like my very wise auntie. Exactly. Okay, okay. And Coach Jen just said Reiki specialist. Okay, I see you guys in the chat. I see you. Let's continue. Dr. Henry, can lifestyle changes like diet, exercise, or time outdoors make a measurable difference overall? And why?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because very simply, it changes up the routine. It gives you something else to focus on that's going to have an impact on your overall mental and physical health. When you're when you're stagnant, you spend more time in your head thinking about things that are not going to feel good. They're not going to help you. So yes, these lifestyle changes makes a huge difference.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I want to head over to Dr. Brooke and briefly discuss medications, okay? We're not pushing medications on nobody. We're not telling them this is the only way out or medication is the only way out. We're just showing you different routes. We're sharing with you different options, okay? So just want to make sure we addressed that before we got into the topic. Dr. Brooke, how effective are antidepressants or supplements like vitamin D in managing symptoms overall?
Overall, antidepressants can be very effective if you, especially dealing with a moderate to severe diagnosis of SAD. Again, we're not promoting that. If that's what you want to do, you talk to your doctor. You have that discussion and you make your informed decision. But they have been shown to be effective for a lot of people. If you don't want to go that route, think about some of the other things we spoke about. Specifically, though, that vitamin D supplement, that'll be good, to either get out there or take the supplement, if you will. But those things can help you. But ultimately, it's your decision, if you want to take medication.
I love that. Anybody else want to add anything to that? Or did she nail it? Ms. Mika, you good? Dr. Henry, we good? We good? Perfect. Okay, now, Ms. Mika, we're going over to you because you mentioned circadian earlier on. And everything is collaborative. And I like to tie everything together. So we're going to bring it back to you on this topic, okay? What role does sleep and circadian rhythm play in a seasonal mood change?
To put it simply, sleep affects your emotional regulation. So if you're not getting the correct amount of sleep, your emotions are going to be all over the place and you can't help that. That's just your body doing what your body does. Right. And when your emotions aren't regulated, your energy isn't balanced. So it's just a whole cluster cloud of a hot mess.
Right. I love that. Anything else you want to add to that, Dr. Brooke or Dr. Henry? She nailed it. Okay, I know she nailed it. Subject matter expert up here. Everybody just joining on in, welcome to the Navigating the Winter Blues on Mental Health panel. We're deep in it. We've discussed general and foundational questions. We've gone over psychology and self-awareness questions. We've started on questions relating to understanding seasonal depression, and we're about to wrap up treatment and coping strategies, okay? Back to you, Dr. Brooke, on the medication topic, okay? We already gave our little pre-warning. We're not forcing medication on nobody. We're just sharing various options and resources, right? Dr. Brooke, is it all right to not go the medication route when treating seasonal depression? Everybody lean in, because we love to lean in, okay? We like to lean on the important topics. Everybody lean in. I'll repeat the question one more time. Dr. Brooke, is it all right to not go the medication route when treating seasonal depression?
It is absolutely all right.
Okay.
It is absolutely all right. Especially if, like I said, if it's a maybe mild to moderate case, absolutely okay. Ultimately, it's your decision. Right. Maybe just some lifestyle changes, some of the things that we've already talked about, getting out, vitamin D supplements, light therapy. There are other routes, talking to somebody, whether it's a therapist or a close friend or a relative, but not isolating yourself, just making some tweaks and some changes. You may want to consider something more if you notice that it is severely impacting your functioning. Other than that, it's okay.
I love that. Thank you for addressing that, Dr. Brooke. And I want to just head to our chat real quick. You guys, if I miss a question or if I overlook a question, feel free to drop it again. But Fashion Fair Nick said, how can we be there for our elderly parents who can go out who possibly she means who can't go out doing these changes? So if you're a caregiver for an elderly parent, how can we be there for them to support them through seasonal depression or navigate out of seasonal depression? Anybody can chime in.
Like I was telling Neck in the comments, you just let them know that it's okay what they're feeling and walk them through the changes. Help them change their routine, because as a caregiver, you have to pivot. My father is elderly, and when I go home to visit, I'm part of his caregiving team. So when he's going through something, I have to walk him through changes. Okay, daddy, well, I know you're feeling this way, but this is how we get out of this. I know you're upset today and you don't want to walk around, but let's walk around today. I promise it's going to help you feel better.
Right.
So just walking them through things. Don't treat them like they're toddlers or like they're babies.
Right.
Treat them like they're grown adults and humans and just walk them through it. It's as simple as that to me.
Right, I love that. And I want to go back into the chat. Miss Cassandra said, yes, sleep is key. The nervous system regulation can help you sleep. Breathing. Okay, so just breathe, y'all. Just take yourself a nap. Put yourself first. What did the lady say in the show Empire? I gotta put me first, Lucius. Y'all gotta learn to put yourself first. Okay? Put yourself first and take a nap and go to bed and get some sleep and breathe. Okay? Good evening, Angela. I see you, Miss Angela. Good evening. Thank you for being here. I just want to, Coach Jen said, make sure they, hold on, the chat is moving. Make sure they are warm and take them out. Elderly experience arthritis. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And Coach Jen also said plant therapy. Okay, so an ecotherapy. Okay, definitely. Okay, let's continue. You guys are doing great. Dr. Henry, we're going to start off with you. We're going to head into the topic of understanding boundaries. Everybody better be leaning in at this point. We all got boundaries. Miss Yvette, I see you. I'm so glad you were able to make it. I see you, Miss Yvette. We are going to head into understanding boundaries, okay? And I want all three of y'all to chime in. All three of y'all, okay? Dr. Henry, we'll start with you. How do you define boundaries in a psychological or emotional sense? Take us away.
Boundaries are important because they speak to how we honor our needs, and how we value ourselves. And when you are able to honor yourself, you're also able to share with others how you want to be treated. And the best way really to show someone is when they're able to observe how you treat yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you speak about yourself. So understanding that, boundaries are important as a way to protect your peace as well.
Dr. Brooke, anything you want to add to that?
She got it.
Okay, Miss Mika, anything you want to add to that?
She nailed it. I have nothing else to add to that. Mic drop.
Okay, and I see Dr. Trish in the chat. She also has something to add. Dr. Trish said boundaries are an invisible line that is placed to care for your aura energetic field. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you, Dr. Trish, for chiming in. Let's continue. Miss Mika, why are boundaries so essential for maintaining healthy relationships, both personally and professionally? Take us through there. Take you through there.
Take you through there.
Yeah,
Boundaries, they build safety. They build safety nets, and they build a mutual respect, and they build upon trust. Boundaries are not to punish other people. They're to protect ourselves. And that's where people mess up. They think you setting that line in the sand is you being negative. No, that's us protecting ourselves. So just remember that a boundary is mutual respect. We should both have boundaries in our relationships.
Right. Anything you want to add to that, Dr. Brooke?
No.
Okay, Dr. Henry, you good? Or anything you want to add to that, Dr. Henry?
I mean, she nailed it. But I just want to add, too, when you have the respect, when you have those boundaries in place, it also deepens intimacy as well.
Right.
So knowing that, that when you have those boundaries in place, it just continues to give.
Right.
And you know what? One other thing, it can help to prevent resentment as well by clarifying your expectations.
Right. I love that.
Great.
We're going to come back to you, Dr. Brooke, right now. What are some common misconceptions people have about setting boundaries? I'll repeat that one more time before you answer. What are some common misconceptions people have about setting boundaries?
The most common, I believe, is that you're being selfish. You're being selfish, you're being mean, maybe even you're being controlling, but that's a common misconception. when you have a boundary and you set that boundary and you let somebody know about it. You're being selfish. I'm not being selfish. I'm protecting my peace.
Anything you want to add to that, Ms. Mika?
I agree with everything Dr. Candace said. The one thing I would add is that boundaries are a healthy form of communication.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I got to add. My girl nailed it.
Fashion Flash said that you think you're better than me. They
Right.
absolutely. You hear that when you start setting boundaries.
Absolutely.
You think you're better. People think when you set boundaries, you're pushing people away. When in fact, that's not the case. You're actually improving the relationship. When
You're bringing them closer by setting those boundaries.
Right. Dr. Henry, specifically, when it comes to dating, what are some common misconceptions people have about setting boundaries in dating? Subject matter expert.
You make me laugh every time you say that. I love it. That if you set boundaries, it's just going to push people away. You know, that you're not going to be able to make the connection because it relates to what was just shared eloquently. You know, that you're being mean and selfish. You really don't want love. You really don't want the connection. And no, boundaries, again, as we've already discussed, is a form of self-respect. You know, it also shows others how to treat you. And that actually gains more respect and a connection with someone who is truly aligned because they understand and respect your boundaries.
I love that. Anything else you guys want to add? That was she nailed it. We good?
That was perfect.
We good. We gonna move it right along. Ms. Mika, can you explain the different types of boundaries? Emotional, physical, mental, time, etc. And why do they matter? You don't have to explain each one, but there's two that come to mind, and why are they important?
I think all of those boundaries are important, so I can't really just nail it down to two, but all of those boundaries protect a different layer of who you are. There's no other way to put that. Like, there's not enough time for me to break that down. I need to write a dissertation to break that down, honestly. But I just have to say that those things, they protect different layers of you. Those pieces of who you are, because you got to remember, everybody you meet, everybody you speak to, everybody you have an exchange with, they get a piece of your energy. So those boundaries protect that and protect your peace.
Right, I love that. We good. Anything else subject matter experts want to add to that, or she nailed it? She nailed it. She nailed it. And Miss Eve in the chat said, "Well said." And also the short stuff in the chat said, "Boundaries make dating more efficient." Hashtag next. Yeah, so she next. Okay, I see. Dr. Brooke, how do boundaries differ from walls or emotional avoidance? I'll repeat that for you one more time. How do boundaries differ from walls or emotional avoidance?
I'll say that, like I mentioned earlier, boundaries protect your peace, while walls protect your wounds. There's a difference. When you put up a wall, you're trying to defend yourself, your emotions from being hurt again, right? So when you set up your boundaries, you've created this peace, and you're protecting that thing. Because you know what that felt like to be unpeaceful or whatever. You know what that felt like. So you're protecting that. But when you throw up a wall, you're avoiding it, you're just protecting the wounds.
Right. I love that. That was like what Dr. Henry said, eloquently said. That was eloquently said. Anything else you guys want to add, Ms. Smith? You want to add anything to that?
I want Dr. Candace to print that on a poster so I can put it in my office. Please.
Let me write it down so I don't forget.
Trademark it. So I will, girl.
What did I say? No. I got it. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to trademark it and put it on the t-shirt.
Hello, and I'll wear it. Put on a sweatshirt too. I'll get one of those.
Yeah, it's fall. It's winter almost. Okay.
And a journal. See? TikTok shop.
Right.
All the ideas. Okay, I'm sorry.
I love that. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys. So right now we've gone through the foundational and general questions. We've gone through the psychology and self-awareness questions. We've gone through questions relating to understanding seasonal depression. We've gone through treatment and coping strategies, and we just wrapped up understanding boundaries. Our last topic for tonight will be boundaries and self-respect. I purposely left this last, okay? I purposely left this last. boundaries and self-respect. So we're going to dig deeper into boundaries, but we're also going to be, while we're digging deep in boundaries, we're going to be highlighting the importance of self-respect. Okay. Dr. Brooke, I'll have you start us off, and then we'll spread out. How does boundary setting relate to self-esteem and self-worth? I want all three of y'all to chime in on this. Okay. I'll repeat the question one more time.
Okay.
How does boundary setting relate to self-esteem and self-worth?
You know, it's kind of like what Dr. Henry stated. Our boundaries kind of reflect how we value ourselves.
Right.
So that's how I believe it relates to self-esteem and self-worth, because it determines how much you value yourself, or it definitely can impact that. It shows you that your needs matter as well. You know, by setting those boundaries, you're reminding yourself, my needs do matter here.
Right. I love that. Ms. Mika, anything else you want? No, not anything. You are going to add something to that. Ms. Mika, how does boundary setting relate to self-esteem and self-worth? For all of you just joining on in, welcome to the Navigating the Winter Blues mental health panel. We're discussing seasonal depression. We're discussing boundary setting. We're discussing self-respect. And Ms. Mika is about to give us her perspective on how boundary setting relates to self-esteem and self-worth.
Mine is just a play off of Dr. Candace, because she is deep off in my cerebellum in here, getting all in my thoughts. But setting a boundary says that you're worthy of peace and you're worthy of respect, and this is how I need my needs to be met. Nothing more, nothing less. Dr. Candace has said it all for me.
Right. I love that. Dr. Henry, your turn. I'm not asking if there's anything else to add. There is something else to add. Okay, Dr. Henry? I'll repeat the question for you one more time. How does boundary setting relate to self-esteem and self-worth?
It relates in a way that we all benefit at some point. You know, we've been talking about, you know, the impact of the season and how, you know, easy you can get caught off guard by a sudden mood change. And when you have boundaries in place that remind you of the importance of self-respect, it's also a way to encourage you. You know, when you are able to maintain that self-respect, when you recognize that you have a choice, you don't have to continue to tolerate or put up with whatever pattern you put up with in the past, you know, it does something for you. You know, it'll boost your mood. It'll boost the way you think of yourself. And and others, it'll radiate. Others will experience that as well, which provides other benefits in terms of making stronger connections. And, you know, it really is, I'm gonna sound a little corny, you know, the gift that keeps on giving.
That's not corny at all.
I love that. Thank you, Dr. Henry. I want to take it back to Dr. Brooke, okay? What happens psychologically when someone consistently ignores or allows others to cross their boundaries from your therapeutic standpoint? Okay? I see you leaning in. We all like to lean in. Everybody lean in with us, okay? Everybody lean in with us. Dr. Brooke is about to take us away. What happens psychologically when someone consistently ignores or allows others to cross their boundaries?
First thing that comes to mind, and I've seen it so many times in my personal life, you start to build resentment. You have this, it could be a chronic resentment because you keep allowing people to cross those boundaries, right? So now you're resenting them. You start to feel burnt out. You feel emotionally just exhausted. All of that could lead to increased anxiety, stress, depression, damaged relationships, or you might even feel invisible in a relationship because these boundaries keep getting crossed. You don't perhaps feel like you're capable of reinforcing that boundary. And I know, let me say this now, because I know we're talking about setting these boundaries and having healthy boundaries, and you just got to do this and it'll make you feel better. It's not that easy. We say it and it sounds like it's easy coming out of our mouth, but we know that it's not that easy. It can be hard. You're working a new muscle, just like when you go to the gym. It hurts to do that thing for the first few times, but you keep practicing it and you get better. You have to reinforce it. You can't say it one time and think they're just gonna respect it. Okay, I won't do that no more. No, they've gotten used to the old you, the one who allowed all that. So just because you say no this time doesn't mean they're just gonna believe you. So as you work with yourself and you practice this, allow them a little bit of grace to get on board. But once you realize that they're not coming with you, then you might need to reevaluate that relationship.
Right.
Okay? You're gonna build up that resentment.
Anything else you want to add to that, Miss Mika or Dr. Henry? It's optional. You good? She nailed it. I know she nailed it. Dr. Henry, she did. She nailed it. I know she nailed it. Yes, ma'am. I know she nailed it. Let's keep it on going. Right. Let's keep it on. We're gonna keep it on going. And they're seeing in the chat. It was a great question. Okay, we're gonna keep it on going. Okay, Miss Mika, your turn. How can trauma or childhood experiences affect a person's ability to set or recognize boundaries? Okay, that's important. That's big. I'll repeat the question one more time. I want the people them in the back to hear me good. How can trauma or childhood experiences affect a person's ability to set or recognize boundaries?
Because when your needs weren't met as a child who needed somebody, you're going to struggle to voice them as an adult. As a child, if you grew up in a household where your parents did nothing but yell at you, fuss at you anytime you had a question, then you're going to learn that nobody wants to hear me. My voice doesn't matter. Let me just cower into my little shell of myself. No, that was how you were treated as a child. But you can learn how to voice your boundaries. That's part of having self-respect. Those traumas may be a chapter in your book. They're not the entire book. And we can grow through that.
I love it. That was amazing. Dr. Brooke, anything you want to add? Dr. Henry, anything you want to add?
I mean, she said it because and it's the not feeling safe part from that traumatic experience of childhood. You don't feel safe enough to recognize boundaries or to set your own, boundaries. It doesn't feel safe. And a lot of people who survived trauma may fear that abandonment. If they set this boundary, if I say no, then I fear they won't like me or they're going to leave me. There's going to be conflict, so that leads to them making either weak boundaries or no boundaries at all.
Dr. Henry, anything you want to add, or they nailed it? They nailed it. Of course they nailed it, ma'am. They nailed it. Okay, that's why all three of y'all are up here. They nailed it. Okay, you guys are doing a great job, by the way. Shout out to y'all. Okay, you're about to say something, Dr. Brooke?
No, I saw somebody say shame is a big one. Absolutely.
Shame is definitely a big one. Dr. Trish, I see you definitely. You guys are doing a great job. Dr. Henry, shout out to you. Dr. Brooke, shout out to you. Ms. Mika, shout out to you. We're almost done. We're going to wrap it up soon, okay? The next question, we can start off with Dr. Brooke and then we'll trickle down to the other subject matter experts, okay? Dr. Brooke, how can therapy help someone unlearn people-pleasing behaviors and build confidence in asserting themselves? That's a big question because I've dealt with people-pleasing, so I'm going to lean in for myself, okay? Let me hop out of character real quick and lean in for me. Let me lean in for Dr. Johnson. Let me lean in for little Dr. Johnson, okay? I want to repeat the question. How can therapy help someone unlearn people-pleasing behaviors and build confidence in asserting themselves? Talk to the little boy, please. Talk to the younger me, please.
Okay. First, it could help by helping you to identify those core beliefs that fuel that people-pleasing behavior. What do you believe about yourself or about this situation? What are those core beliefs that lead to this behavior? What was, in some cases, what was the trauma? We might have to go back to that because like we said, or I may have said earlier, people-pleasing is basically fawning, right? And fawning is a trauma response. We learn that through a traumatic, experience, oftentimes growing up in our different households or from our caregivers or what have you. We learn that we can't speak up. We can't say anything. We can't rock the boat. We got to make sure everybody else is good. We put everybody's needs above our own. So we might have to uncover that in therapy and let them know that it's okay to have a voice. It's okay to express yourself. You don't have to wait for somebody else's approval to have an opinion. It's okay. And help them to heal that inner child that experienced all of that, because you don't have to keep that behavior up right now. But first, we got to make you aware of it. A lot of people don't even know what that's coming from.
Miss Mika, what about you? Anything you want to add to that?
Again, Dr. Candace nailed it. Therapy helps you understand those patterns and where that response comes from. What we lean in to help you with in therapy is learning how to say no without feeling that guilt. You don't have to please everybody. The most important person you need to please is yourself and the Lord Jesus Christ if you are a believer.
Okay.
It is okay to say no. No is a full sentence, a complete answer, a word in the Oxford Dictionary. And it's okay to say no, even to the people you respect the most. If they push your boundaries, it's okay to say no and feel no guilt about it. Sometimes saying that no also comes with I got to cut you off for a little bit. I got to block your phone number. I can't talk to you right now because you're not respecting who I am. Learn to say no and go to therapy to unwind those patterns.
I love that, Miss Mika. You took us there. Like, you took us through there. Dr. Henry, I want you to answer the same question, but answer it tailored to you. So when it comes to dating and people pleasing, or your partner, pleasing your partner just to stay in that relationship, what would you add to that?
I would say to, to believe, to have faith that, if you say no, if you set a boundary, if you don't want to go out of your way to please someone, trust that if they are not going to respond favorably, then they're not the person for you. And I think that is something that comes up a lot for so many people who are dating and not feeling confident that if they are not pleasing the other person, that they're going to lose that opportunity. But one thing that I often say is, it's not rejection, it's redirection. The person who's right for you is going to respond favorably. So they're doing you a favor so that you can redirect your efforts and connect with the person who is right for you.
I love that. Well said. Dr. Brooke, you have something else you want to add? I know you do.
I know it's getting late, but thinking about the relationship and the boundaries, one question that I like to tell clients to ask themselves and to sit with for a minute and be honest is, I had to write it down. Do I love my pain more than I love myself?
Okay.
Like, wait a minute. Let's sit down and think about that.
Right.
Because everything you just described to me was very painful. It's very toxic. You can't speak up. You can't set a boundary. You can't enforce it because you're afraid that they'll leave. So why are you staying? Do I love this pain more than I love myself? Sometimes the answer might be yes. Mm-hmm. It's not judgmental. I'm not judging you, but I want you to sit and answer that. And then we can move forward. So I just want to put that question out there because sometimes we got to be real.
Thank you. And transparency. Transparency is important. Be real, be transparent. I love that, Dr. Brooke. Thank you for that. Let's go on to the next question. Now, this is the last question. I would like for each of you ladies to answer it before we close out. So we'll start off with you, Miss Mika. Okay, last question. What are some ways to recover emotionally after realizing your boundaries were disrespected? Pure disrespect. Them disrespect you, okay? Them disrespect you, okay? So, Miss Mika, one more time. I'll get professional again, okay? I'll lean in. What are some ways to recover emotionally after realizing your boundaries were disrespected?
My biggest thing is you have to give yourself grace. When your boundary is disrespected, you're going to be, as my mama would say, 38 hot. Yes. But you have to give yourself grace and allow yourself to feel that anger. Because once you go ahead and feel that anger and you give yourself grace through it, you know what you need to do? You got to move forward and you got to get some clarity. You reset your expectations and then we move on. Give yourself grace. My 3 words.
I love that. Dr. Brooke, go ahead. I'll repeat the question for you one more time because it's a big question. I want all of you guys to answer it. Before we answer it, somebody in the chat said, by finding forgiveness and grace for yourself and the one who hurt you. Yes, there's a phrase that said you got to forgive people, not for them, but for yourself. I'll repeat, you got to forgive people, not for them, but you're forgiving them for yourself so you can move on. Okay, don't make me take y'all there. Thank you, Scott, for sharing that. Dr. Brooke, I'll repeat the question for you. What are some ways to recover emotionally after realizing your boundaries have been disrespected?
Much like what Mika said, that's self-reflection without blame. So sit a minute and just take in consideration everything that happened. How did you contribute? How did they contribute? Doing that self-reflection and not blaming yourself though. And then clarify what felt harmful. Put a name to it. Be clear on what hurt you, because you don't want to repeat this. You don't want to do this again. So be very clear. Reflect, don't blame yourself, and then clarify what felt harmful.
I love that. Thank you. Dr. Henry, it's your turn. I'll repeat the question for you one more time. What are some ways to recover emotionally after realizing your boundaries have been disrespected?
It's important to know what you need after that has happened. You know, sometimes when you're faced with something that is so jarring in that way, you may not think about what is the best choice for you in that matter, in that under those circumstances. So what do you need? Do you need a break? Do you need to end the relationship altogether? Do you need, an acknowledgement, a conversation around it? Sometimes there's a little bit more that's needed in order to sort of process and move forward from that situation. And it's also a part of, self-care after having an experience like that.
All right, I love it. Thank you for that. Well, you guys, I have one last question to ask, but this is the end of the panel questions. I just want to shout out everybody who joined in, who was participating in the conversation, who took their time out to step into because it's not mine, it's our conference on navigating the winter blues in mental health panel. So I just want to shout you guys all out in the chat. Can I just get a couple of you guys drop a clapping hands in the chat? Before I ask them the last question, can you just have a couple round of applause in the chat, not only for us, obviously, but for yourselves too, for showing up and receiving these gems, okay? A couple round of applause in the chat before I ask them the last question for the night. Okay, Miss Nene, I see you. Okay, Miss Nene, I see you. Welcome on in. I haven't seen you in a minute, Miss Nene. I see you. Okay, there goes Fashion Flare Neat and Short Stuff. Okay, there goes Dr. Trish. Thank you. Okay. All three of you ladies, I have interviewed you guys individually, and you guys have all stepped into office hours with Dr. Johnson. And I asked all of my guests this question. I'm sure you guys all know what this question is, right? And it's always going to be, centered around mental health or just understanding what you do overall. Okay. However, what is your overall why as it relates to the work that you do within counseling and within the mental health space overall? Dr. Henry, we'll start with you. I'll repeat the question for you one more time, and anybody else in the back who didn't hear, re-asking the last question. I saw somebody drop the last question in the chat. Last question is Nini Legacy. I appreciate you. What is your overall why as it relates to the work that you do within counseling and the mental health space overall? Go ahead, Dr. Henry.
My overall why, and I think I sort of teased a little bit in the very beginning with this, and that is just thinking about my own journey when I was dating, and to be very transparent, I just desperately wanted to experience love in a meaningful relationship because I wanted to be married. And despite my background, I went through a lot, and I experienced a lot of pain. And once I realized that I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, I took the time to work on my mindset, get the support that I needed, and I was able to make that mindset shift. And then I found myself feeling more confident and able to show up in my dating relationships, implementing much of what we discussed here, the boundaries, communicating effectively, being consistent in communicating what I wanted and how I wanted it. And before I knew it, my dating experiences started to feel more fulfilling. And by the time I met my husband, that literally snuck up on me, because I was feeling so good about what I was experiencing, how I was experiencing. And when he and I met and eventually got married, my thought was, if I can just support just one woman, save her some time, helping to empower her, enlighten her along the way so that she's not having to spend as much time as I did figuring it out, that would make me feel good, like I'm helping. And so I just want every woman who wants, like I said, to experience love in a meaningful relationship. I want every woman to be able to experience that, if that's what she wants. And if I can support that journey, it would be my honor. So that's my why.
I love that. Thank you, Dr. Henry, for being here, and thank you so much for holding space for us. Ms. Mika, your turn. I'll repeat the question for you. What is your overall why as it relates to the work that you do within counseling and the mental health space overall?
My why is to heal people. I want to be that person for others that I wish somebody was for me, like I said in the beginning. My heart is for people. And to be 100% real, because that's who I am, my heart is for my community. People that look like me, people who sound like me, people that the Crown Act was built for. My heart is to heal those little Black boys and those little Black girls who have been tossed to the side and made to be a problem when they were just going unheard and being misunderstood. My why is to help heal my community right now, so as we move forward in the future, we stop fighting with each other and we start loving on each other like we used to. Why would I want to not do that? Why would I not want to be a face that a little Black girl sees and goes, oh, hi, Miss Mika, I remember you. You helped me with this, you helped me with that. That is the joy of my life. That and motherhood are my two favorite things. And being able to be a therapy mom to people brings me so much joy. That is my why.
I love that. I appreciate you, and thank you for showing up, and thank you for holding space for us, okay? Now, Dr. Brooke, your turn. What is your overall why as it relates to the work that you do within counseling and the mental health space overall?
Just like Mika stated, and I think I mentioned in the beginning, being for others what I wanted for myself as a teenager and an early adult in my 20s. I wanted to have somebody to go to and be authentically me. If I wanted to curse and cry and crash out, they were going to be accepting of that and allow me that to help me find my way. But I didn't have it. So I just want to make sure I am that for whoever needs it. I know I am a healer. I know that that's part of my mission here, to do that. And I do that in many ways, but through therapy, it's fulfilling. Will everybody get it? No, it's okay. As long as I can plant the seed. But I just like holding that space. I like the representation that it gives for our people, for our community. I like for people to see, oh, I can be with this person and I can be my honest, self. I can bring all of me to her sessions and not feel judged. I love holding space for those people. I love holding hope for people who can't yet seem to find it for themselves. I'll hold it. I'll be your hope holder until you can get on your feet and you can hold it and you can have hope yourself. That's my thing. I was a cheerleader when I was a little girl. I'm going to cheer you on. I'm a big sister. I'm going to get in your business. If you tell me you talk to him, I want to see let me see it. Let me see the screenshot. Let's talk about it. That's the kind of relationship I have with my clients. But I just love being that space where they can be comfortable, they can be themselves, and they can get some real, honest, raw feedback.
Right, I love that. Thank you so much for holding space, and thank you so much for sharing these resources. Now, one more time before we go, I want us to stress this topic before we wrap things up, okay? The majority of us all here, we're all black and brown, okay? We're all part of the other, okay? And specifically, I just want you guys to remind the black men, because there was some discourse on here that said black men don't go to college, black men don't go to college, and that's why I made that post and showed black men do go to college, okay? I want you guys to assure black men do go to therapy and black men should go to therapy. Miss Mika, Dr. Brooke, and Dr. Henry. Can you guys please just remind black men, because when I repost this, I want to make sure black men see this. Can you please remind black men, if you're feeling as though you're experiencing seasonal depression, reach out to a therapist, talk to somebody. Can you just remind them, can you just reassure black men once again? We know ladies go to therapy. We know you guys will take care of yourself, but us black men sometimes are apprehensive. Can you just reassure us? Talk to us black men that we do go to therapy and we should go to therapy and we need to go to therapy. Miss Mika, you can start us off.
Black man, please listen to me when I tell you this. I come to you with love in my heart and joy in my spirit. I see you. I believe you. I know that you're going through things and you feel like you have to be the man, but you don't have to do that. People are here to hold space for you, and there's no shame in having emotions. Emotions are human, and it's okay to not be okay. I love you, black man. I believe in you and in your power. Please take a moment and take care of yourself while you're taking care of everybody else.
Amen. Dr. Brooke, reassure us one last time, please, Dr. Brooke.
Absolutely. Black man, we do love you. We support you. We have your back. You don't have to do this by yourself. It doesn't make you less of a man to talk to somebody about what you're experiencing and what you're feeling. It's okay to feel. You don't have to stuff it. I know when you were younger, you were told to suck it up, stop acting like that. But that's not good advice, baby. You need to talk about it. You do have feelings, and sometimes you might need to cry it out. And we're here to hold that space for you. We're not looking down. We're not judging. We're opening our arms and saying, come on, let's talk about it. This is your space. You can do that here. So go to therapy, talk to somebody, get support. It's okay.
Thank you for that. Dr. Henry, can you wrap us up? Can you reassure black men one last time? We need to go to therapy. We should be in therapy, and we could utilize resources from therapy. Wrap us up.
I love this. Yes, black men. It is okay. It is more than okay. And I have a personal example, and I know my husband would be okay with me sharing this. My husband was in therapy. He had never been before we met each other. And I remember having a conversation with him, and he was a little hesitant. But after having the experience, he talked about how much of a relief it was to be able to share. And I have to tell you, I felt a special connection to him after that. Just knowing that he allowed himself to be vulnerable, and he didn't seem any less than a man after that. He was a black man, okay? And it's okay. It's okay. And I know he would proudly say that he's gone to therapy.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Before I wrap things up, I do want to say, I'm not saying that only black men should. I know all men go to therapy. I'm sure all men do. But statistically, black men are not. So right now, myself, Dr. Johnson, Dr. Henry, and Dr. Brooke, and Ms. Mika, we're talking to the statistic. And statistically, it's black men who are not seeking therapy who desperately need it. So I just want to make sure I said that. It's not just geared just for black men, and we only want black men to go to therapy. No, we want all men to go to therapy, okay? And we know the women are going to therapy. We know the Asian men are going. We know the white men are going. We know some Hispanics are going. So right now, we're speaking to the black men and the Hispanic men who are not going. Go to therapy. It's all right to be vulnerable. It's all right to ask for help when you need help, okay? There are great people out there who have resources and information and tools to get you to the place of being healthy and healthy in all aspects, emotionally, physically, and mentally. We wrapped it up. Y'all did amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Dr. Henry, I appreciate you. Continue showing up for yourself. Dr. Brooke, I appreciate you. Continue showing up for yourself. And Miss Mika, the neighborhood bestie, I appreciate you. Keep showing up for yourself. You guys did amazing. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. Deuces? Can we get a deuces in the chat? Let's get a deuces. We did it. Y'all seek out therapy. Get your help. Ain't nothing wrong. Okay? Okay, can I get a couple deuces in the chat? Can I get a couple round of applause in the chat? We did it. My free people did it. Shout out to Dr. Henry. Shout out to Dr. Brooke. PD, I see you in the chat. Thank you so much, PD, for supporting the live. I see you, PD. Miss Mika, shout out to Miss Mika. Shout out to Dr. Trish. I see you. Everybody, I appreciate you guys for being here. The short stuff, Governor, I appreciate you. This was amazing. I will be posting this on, you know where I'm going to be posting it after. I appreciate you. Every Tuesday, come check me out. Office Hours with Dr. Johnson. Please check out Dr. Henry. She has amazing lives weekly. Please check out Dr. Brooke. She has amazing lives weekly. And please check out Miss Mika. She always posts consistent motivational messages on her page. So please check out Miss Mika as well too, okay? No, I will not say that word. I'm going to say YT, yes, short stuff. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And once again, continue showing up for yourself, okay? Dr. Henry, continue to show up for yourself because you're not showing up only for you, but for the people who you inspire and the people who you motivate. Dr. Brooke, continue showing up for yourself once again because you are inspiring people and there are people who are afraid to seek therapy. And whenever I'm in your room, I feel that safe space. So continue showing up for yourself. Ms. Mika, every time I'm scrolling on TikTok, I appreciate your motivational messages. I appreciate your little minutes, your little happy meals that you always do. Continue doing those. Continue showing up for yourself. Okay, I appreciate each and every one of you. Let me drop y'all down. You guys did amazing. We're gonna be in touch. You know we're gonna be in touch.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, Dr. Henry and Dr. Candace, for being here with me. You guys are amazing. I love all of you. You take care of yourself and each other. Get your happy meal.
Get your happy meal. Okay, let me drop y'all down. I appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all, that's a wrap. I appreciate you guys for being here. I'm going to repeat it one more time. I feel also, my moderators, Miss Nini Legacy, I appreciate you. You showed up and you showed out. Thank you so much. Janae, I appreciate you. You showed up and you showed out. I appreciate you so much. Frame Greetings, you showed up and you showed out. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Fashion Flare Nick, I'm so glad you were able to receive something from this. Everybody who is here, I'm so glad you were able to receive something from this. Yes, shout out to my mods. You guys did amazing. I will be back with Office Hours next week on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with some great information, great resources, and a great interview overall. Okay, I appreciate you too, Dr. Henry. I appreciate you. I feel good. I can go have me a big plate of food now. You see when you plan something and it's executed, I could breathe. Okay, y'all, bye. Deuces. Couple more deuces in the chat. Can we get a deuces? Can we get a deuces? Oh! I didn't even realize that. Okay, 94.5K. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are me. Y'all, I'm not even looking at the number. I just realized right now it's 90 something thousand. Y'all did that. Y'all, I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate Big Florida. Yeah, can I get regular real quick? Yeah, Big Florida, Big 305, Dade County. What's up? Okay, I appreciate y'all. Oh, y'all want to do the? She said let's do 100K. Okay, let's do 100K real quick. We're doing 100K real quick. Let's just get to 100K. We can get there. But you choose me. Yeah, Jenny dropping 305 in the chat. I see you. Damn, this is gonna be my first 100K. Okay, y'all gonna take me there? Dr. Carlotta Berry, I see you. We just wrapped up. We just trying to get me to 100K before we wrap up the night. And let me just close this out too because we good. I just want to have some fun, but this girl is standard. She all we business out on the road. All we business out on the road. Watch how she business out on the road. All we business Okay, live goal achieved. Perfect. And I appreciate every single one of y'all. Ooh. I appreciate all of you guys who gifted. I appreciate everybody who what's the thing called, the goal. I appreciate y'all so much. Yes, Janae, take me through there. Take me through there. Exactly. I appreciate. Okay, we at 97K. Oh, we about to hit 100. Okay. Okay. We're not doing this again. This is a lot of pressure. Oh, we almost there. We almost there. Oh, damn. Okay, we almost there. Wow, you guys are amazing. We almost there. We almost there. Take me through there. Take me through there. Dr. Berry, I see you liking the live. I appreciate you. The short stuff, I appreciate you. I see you liking the live. Dr. Henry, you laughing at me. Blessed believer, I see you. You laughing at me, blessed believer. Okay, so you guys, we've hit 100K. This is a milestone for Dr. Johnson, for office hours with Dr. Johnson. Big 100K. Can I pin that, or am I able to pin that or no? Or it won't let me pin that, Mika. You guys, I've never hit 100K. I'm going to continue showing up. I do this for y'all. I do this. Obviously, you know, it's way bigger than the engagement and the likes and the gifts. I enjoy doing this. Y'all see, I create an agenda. I don't just come on here just for shits and giggles. You know, I treat this like how I treat my classrooms. I treat this like how I treat me working in healthcare. So I want you guys to know, I enjoy doing this beyond the whole TikTok universe about it all. I appreciate, yes, the passion. I appreciate doing this. This is what I do on a regular basis. So for me to be able to come on here on TikTok and share what I enjoy doing and what I'm passionate about doing, I appreciate you. So that's the 100K. The 101K is just reassurance of me to continue to showing up for myself, because I'm also showing up for you guys. So I appreciate every single one of you, and big up to you, Dr. Brooke, and big up to you, Miss Mika, and big up to you, Dr. Henry. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna keep, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep doing this once a month. And I'm gonna continue showing up for my office hours every Tuesday. But I see that the conferences are needed. I know that oftentimes people can't always make the office hours on Tuesdays. That's all right. You know, y'all know I'm not here for who's showing up and who's not showing up. I'm still gonna show up. Even if I have 2 people in the room, I still have something to say. I'm gonna always still have something to say. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Miss Mika want me to hop out of here and talk about something. Shout out to Big Florida. Let's go. Yeah, Big Florida. Let's go. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Office hours with Dr. Johnson. This was amazing. I'm going to post this where y'all know where I'm going to post this. Okay. So I appreciate you. And shout out to Jamaica. Please pray for Jamaica still. Please, we still praying for Jamaica. Okay. Thank you for dropping those flags. Everybody go have a good night. Go have a piece of chicken and some mashed potatoes or some rice and peas and curry goat or something for me. Okay. In honor of me, go have some curry chicken and white rice and brown stew, something. Yes, okay. Let's wrap it up. Okay, we good. I'm not cooking now. It's in the kitchen. I'm waiting on it. I gotta go. You guys are amazing. I appreciate y'all. Okay, have a good night. Once again, where y'all gonna see me at? Next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Office hours with Dr. Johnson. We have 103,000. I should have screenshot that. Good night, y'all. Deuces in the chat. Have a blessed night to you too, Janae. 103. Have a blessed night. Just let me just see one deuces in the chat. We throwing it up. Look at me sweating. Yes, the anxiety, the pressure. Yeah, I'm sweating. Transparency. But I did it. Okay, there we go. Good night. All right, we good. I see the thing. Good night. Be safe, y'all.